welcome to or welcome back to Book and Prejudice. My name is Mar, and this is everything that I plan on reading in 2023. Now, you know how it goes. Grab your drink of choice. Today I have Diet Coke in a champagne flute because it's dry Jan and I'm not drinking, which means that this is, the next best thing. So, cheers, everyone. Anyways, if you've been here for a little while and you've seen my TBR video, the way this is split is this top shelf up here belongs to my fiance. The rest are mine. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one you cannot see, but it's there. So what I plan on doing today is kind of going through it and picking the books that I definitely want to read. I don't like doing this video because this is very much like a harsh being faced with reality moment, but at the same time, if I don't do it, then I cannot make a commitment. So here we are, second year in a row that I make it. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of familiar books, okay? Please don't judge me, okay? I put myself on a no-buy for 2022. I was very good at it until the summer months came around, and then I was like, I'm gonna read so much in the summer months because I was like unemployed. I didn't. I just was sad, so I bought books that I didn't use. And I also get gifted a lot of books by a lot of people, so it's been my birthday, it's been Christmas. The gist of it is, there's a lot of new books. I'm very sorry. I tried. In terms of statistics, I guess that I'll very quickly run those. As I said in my previous video, I read 34 books and my goal was 40. So since I didn't make it 40, my goal is 40 this year. Like, that's how many books I want to read. I don't know why I would challenge myself to anything more if I know I'm not going to accomplish it. So I want to read 40 books this year. There's a lot more than 40 books here. I mean, this is not everything. There's like a few books that they just did not fit here. So they're just in the actual bookshelf. But those are a bit... We'll get to them eventually at some point. Okay, shall we start here? Let's here. Is this good for you guys? Let's do this one first. Hi. Okay. So sorry for that. That was a second. It took me to get all of my books sorted, but now they are sorted. So I just counted them up. There's 30 books. I'm gonna show them to you now properly. Big champagne. We're drinking this bear, guys. So let's start with the first pile. That doesn't really matter. There's 30 books, right? Which means that I could technically read all of this. And if I don't buy anything, my TBR would hopefully look like something like this. So this is the goal, right? There's a few really long books here, but we're staying strong. We're staying strong, guys. We're staying strong. All right, let's start with the first pile. I divided them on 3 piles for no reason whatsoever. It's just that otherwise it would tilt over. So there we go. First of all, The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. I love this book. I loved, what was it called? Oh, that's great. The Binding. I love The Binding. Love The Binding by the same author. My parents-in-law got me this beautiful copy of The Betrayals as well. I should probably get into it. This one. Philippa Gregory's Dark Tides. If I want to read Dawnlands, first I have to read Dark Tides. Also, at some point, I would really want to start reading the other Philippa Gregory books that I have, but I don't know. 2023 doesn't seem to be the year for it. I'm hopeful, but I'm realistic. So definitely Tidelands, though. First big book, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I want to read this book eventually at some point. Greg has it up there. We also have To Paradise, which I would also like to read, and it's by the same author. So, and this is, how many pages? I don't want to spoil it for myself, obviously. So I'm just kind of 720 pages. First big book. So, yay. Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. As always, I have my problem with Naomi Novik that I don't connect the best with her writing style, but I love her stories. So definitely want to get this one done in the first half of the year. Please stay. Thank you. Next big book, The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Sorry, there's a big sticker. I'm gonna take this out. I don't want to call myself cheap on the internet. really want to read this because I also know that the prequel is coming out. So keen to get this under my belt. How long are you? How long are you, sir? Probably ridiculously long. Because there's like, I don't care for this at the moment. It's 804 pages. Woo woo! Yay! Go me! I think these are this one and The Little Life are the biggest books that I want to read. So this will be like 1 month of reading probably. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. With a little note from my friend that I'm pretty sure she got me this book. Yeah, it says, it didn't seem right for you not to have your own copy of a book that I'm sure you're going to really like. Sorry, not sorry for contributing to the filling of the TBR shelf. Love you from Bushkis. That's my friend, Lydia. Love her. This is where I'm going to allow myself to buy books. If I get to this book and I read this book, I will buy the second and the third one as well. So that brings me up to 34, 33. I count that. 30, 32. It has me up to 32. We got there eventually at some point. But yeah, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Oh, if you see my January wrap up, I'll speak about Babel, which I loved. Anyways, back to seriousness. Set Fox, The Light Ages. I think this is just gonna be the kind of book that I just have in the background and I pick up every now and then. It's a history book in which it discusses the, you know, the good things that came out of the medieval times, the Dark Ages that come out. I did those in the correct one. The medieval times / the Dark Ages. So I'm very keen to read this at some point. But as I said, I think it's gonna be the kind of book that is just kind of in the background for me. Next up. The Guest Cat by Takashi Hiraite. He looks so cute. It's about a couple who are just kind of going through like a bit of a rough time, and then a cat shows up in their house. The only thing that stresses me out is that this is not the best cut book. I don't know, like it's not the best cut, but oh wow. I like it. I'm excited to read it. It's very short. How many pages is it? It's not very long. I don't want to spoil it. 140. It's 140 pages, so definitely doable. And then Vicente Blasco Ibáñez, Sangre y Arena. This is gonna be a tough book to read. I already know it, so I'm not gonna be too stressed out about it, but definitely want to get into it. No, thank you. Okay. Remember when I said that I wasn't gonna buy any books? Right, so on Tuesday, this book came out, Hellbent, which is the sequel to Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. So me being me, bought it. I'm actually gonna record a vlog of me reading this throughout the weekend. Best case scenario, I read the whole thing, but realistically, I'll be happy if I get through half. I'm very excited to read this though. It's been a while in the making, so I'm excited for it. It's only 478 pages, so it's not too bad, but definitely gonna be reading this next. Well, literally next, because I'm gonna be reading it tonight after I come back from my Mexican dinner. Pile number dos. Why did I put an accent? I am Spanish. Dos. Okay. The first one, no, this is the second one. The first one of Almudena Grandes' series, which is called Inés y la Alegría, Inés and the Happiness. And the second one, which is El Lector de Julio Verne, the reader of Jules Verne. When I get these two out of the way, again, if there's time for reading a third one, would love to, but I need to be realistic and honest with myself. But I really want to get this. My uncle has spoken so highly of these, so highly, that I just really want to read them. And also one of my New Year's resolutions is to read a lot more in Spanish. I feel like, because obviously I live in Edinburgh, I work in English, my boyfriend, my fiance is English, everything in my life is in English, so I really want to up my Spanish game. So I'm definitely, for these videos the next year and hopefully for the rest of my life, you're really going to see a lot more Spanish literature, and I consider that a win. I also want to read La Casa de la Buena Estrella. As I said, this is from my grandma's personal library. I really want to read it. She loved it. There's also a film. She and my mom are two of the people that I refer the most when it comes to literature. So if somebody says, Mart, this is a fantastic book, we think you're gonna love it, and it comes from them, the recommendation, there's no way I'm not reading it. Like, I will read it. Case in point, I still have somewhere around here my mom's copy of Isabel Allende's. Did I return it to her? I most certainly did not return it to her. Oh, there it is. My mom's copy of The House of the Spirits, because I loved it so much. I was like, you're not getting this one back, Mom. Next up, The Night Circus. This is a Waterstones. Freaking stickers. Who puts that in there? Like, I guess why. I know you have to, but I don't like it. It's not coming out. 1 second, please. It's one of those that are really well stuck in. Freaking Waterstones. I swear to God. Oh, I swear to God. This is... Okay. Well, I want to read The Night Circus. Because my friend Thalia really likes it. I'm really keen on reading it. She's been telling me to read it for ages. And I want to read this actually in January, February, and March months. I tried to read it for Christmas, but that didn't happen. And I also want to read, let me pick up my cheap tag. These ones are coming out a lot better. Freaking hell, I swear to God, they want to see me burn something. Anyways, I want to read The Winter Garden in the winter months, hopefully, because winter, the winter garden. So yeah, and this is by Alexander Bell. Oh, I also want to read The 7 Moons of Mali Almeida. It sounds so interesting. It sounds very similar to the 10 minutes 38 seconds in This Strange World, which I'm very excited to read. So I'm very excited to read this, but I'm gonna read it in the springtime, because when does it take place? Colombo 1990, blah 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 blah. It doesn't have an actual time frame, so I want to read in spring though, because I think that it's very colorful and very pretty. Greg got me 2 books. He got me this and he got me Babel. Babel's been read. This one's next. I'm very excited. It's like my favorite tradition. I will actively not look at the list, not look at the short list, not look at the winner, so that I can, you know, be surprised by my little Christmas gift. It's my favorite tradition. Okay. Next up, the yellow wallpaper. Okay. Say what you want. This might be a cop out. It's not very long. It's 59 pages, but there's like a prologue as well. So it's this long, okay? But it's one of my favorite stories. It reminds me really fondly of my high school years, and I really am excited to read it. So I'm gonna be reading it this year. I got it for me. I was very grateful. So no, we got it at the Waterstones night. We must have gotten it at the Waterstones night. I wouldn't have paid for it otherwise. We must have gotten it at the Waterstones night. Anyways, I'm also gonna be reading Arturo Pérez Reverte's Revolución. He is one of Spain's greatest writers at the moment, and I'm really keen on reading more. Again, another gift from my uncle, my godfather, and he gifted me 3 books actually this Christmas. Gifted me these 3 books, but I think I'm gonna start with this one. This one's the one that I want to prioritize rather. These are my priorities in reading, by the way. This is what I'm prioritizing. This is what we're focused on our lane, lads. Bye bye. The Salt Path. This is from my friend Maka. We have a little book club. I mentioned it on my last video. This is one of her favorite books of all time, so I think I'm gonna read this in February so I can return it to her. I think I'm gonna return it with, I'm not sure what book yet, but we always return the books with a book. That's how it goes. That's book club book rules. I don't know. I don't make a lot of sense after that. Oh, I'm gonna have to split this pile into 2 piles because the pile is unstable, like me. Last big book we have is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Okay, you may now begin to make fun of me. This has been in my bookshelves for 3 years now, and I'm not even that sorry. I'm like ever so slightly sorry. I've heard it's a very sad book. I don't want to be sad. Who wants to be freaking sad? Not me. It's 864 pages. Woohoo! Yay! Homework. It's not homework, but like it's gonna be a tedious run, I feel like. Especially because like when I get to like in an 800 page book, when I get to a 500 page book, I'm like, oh, I'm almost done. Except I'm not. I still have 300 pages left, which is probably how big the next book is. Segue. Which is The Witch and the Tsar. I'm really excited to read this. I think that after Hellbent and The Golden Enclaves, this is gonna be the next book that I read. It's so very interesting. I love witchcraft and I love ancient Russia. Not current Russia that much, but ancient Russia. Love it that much. So I'm really excited to be reading this. I think it's gonna be a really cozy read. Mostly because there's snow in there. That's what I'm basing it off. Another freaking sticker? It's like, oh. 1 second, please. 1 second, please. We're getting her ready. We're making her pretty. Giving me freaking anger issues. Because I don't understand why they put them. I don't care that it's a Waterstones exclusive edition. I know that. But then when you take it out, it leaves like the little paper residue. And you have to basically sacrifice a child to get it out. And I don't like it. Especially when the cover is as pretty as this one. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness me. Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Oh. Freaking, okay, you know what? I could be here for like 6 hours getting it off. I'm not gonna do that. This would be boring. But yeah, the next one is the Atlas Paradox. I like the Atlas 6. I don't know, maybe I would have bought the second one had it not ended the way it ended. But since it did, here we are. The Golden Enclaves, the last book in the Schoolman's series by Naomi Novik. I'm really excited to read this. I think no one else is in my book club, but it's my turn to pick the book, and I've committed to making them suffer through all 3 books, so we're gonna read this one. Yay! Probably after Hellbent, actually. Probably not. Definitely after Hellbent. Ooh, another sticker. Jesus Christ. Philippa Gregory's Dawnlands. I don't know if it's the same series, actually. Is it the same series? 1 second, please. This video makes no sense. So this is the Fair Mile series, but I think this is a new series. Are you part of the Fair Mile? No, I don't think this is. This is a new series that she's starting. Oh no, praise for talents and dark sides of previous books in the Fair Mile series. So this is the 3rd one. Yay! I'm gonna read this after I finish Dawnlands. I really like Tidelands, really like Tidelands, but I cannot remember what it was about, so we'll have to read that, then I'll have to read Dark Tides, then I'll have to read Dawnlands. But I'm really keen to read those, actually. The Fair Botanist, I will be reading this one too, mostly because it's signed. That's it. And I like the author, and the author seems so lovely, and she spoke to me for way more than she probably would have liked to. And she was very patient and faked really well that she was interested in me. We're getting to the last ones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books left. The Bastard of Istanbul by Elif Shafak. As I said in my previous video, if I can read an Elif Shafak book for the rest of my life every year, I will be happy with that. So this is the one that I've chosen for this year, mostly because it's the one that was in my bookshelf. We're not buying books, guys, except for book club. We might be buying books for book club if we commit to doing book club. We have Nancy Mitford's The Blessing and Nancy Mitford's Don't Tell Alfred. And with that, I'll be done with my Mitfords and I can buy more. that's the only reason I want to be done with them. Also, I love the covers of those. I put them down and I'm not gonna get them back up, but they're so stunning. Kafka's on the Shore. These are also kind of big books, not 800 pages. They're still kind of book. Like 500 pages is still a long book in my book. 505. It's the 5 that makes a difference. 505. I'm gonna read Kafka on the Shore because I feel like it's gonna make me feel super smart. It just kind of slid. It's like a little side. Phew. Anyways, and The Children of Blood and Bone. They killed my mother. They took our magic. They tried to bury us. Now we rise. This was a gift from my friend. I'm really keen to read it because she loved it. This is 525 books. See, it's the 5s. 525, 505. Bad news. I'm telling you, based off of nothing. Bad news. And this is a series, so this is the other one that I will, like the Poppy Wars, buy if I feel like it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Please don't look at my floor. It's quite entertaining. And all the books are there. What I'm gonna do now, and you're not gonna be able to see this because I filmed this on my phone, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make a list on my phone. And I'm just gonna write everything that I'm interested in. And everything that I wanna write. And everything that I'm planning on reading this year. I'll just pick them off so I can keep myself a little bit more accountable because I feel like sometimes I do these videos, like last year I did this video and then I had no way of keeping myself accountable, so I wasn't accountable. But yeah, that's my kind of this is what I'm planning on reading in 2023. As you can see, there's still, how many books are left in my, oh my goodness, there's still 30 books in my bookshelf that I haven't read. But I think that this is a good start. No, there's more here. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. plus the rereads that I want to do, that I will get to eventually at some point. Honestly, I'm quite pleased. If I get through all of these, it would be amazing, because that would mean that a lot of my bookshelf space would be empty. My goal at some point is to only have at any time 3 or 4 books in my bookshelf TBR that I haven't read. That would be ideal. I really like that. I keep saying this, I really am keen on this not happening. Like, I don't want to have over 60 books in my bookshelf that I haven't read. I think that that's insane, and I think that that shows very little self-control on my side. And I think that let's try and fix it, let's try and move forward, let's try and get better at it. And that's basically the plan for 2023, which is to actually focus on what I have rather than what I want. Because there's a lot of good things here. Like, all of these books, I'm excited. I'm so excited to read them, but I need to read them then. And yeah, I guess that I'm gonna leave you guys with that nonsense reflection, because I really do have to get going, because I have to make it to my dinner. Hope you guys liked it. If you like this video, like, subscribe, as always. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, that is @BookandPrejudice. You can see more bookish content there. And until next week, I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.